When I started training for the 2020 Lagos City Marathon, 6 months from the marathon D-Day, initially I would go running in the evening. Now the challenge with running in the evening is that I had other stuff I needed to attend to during the day. This would make me go running so late in the evening that on some days by 8 p.m. I would still be on the road running. It was on one of such days that I suffered a hard fall that led to me sustaining injuries on my right palm and my right knee because I didn't see an obstacle someone had placed along my running path. I need to do something about this, I remember saying to myself. I decided to go running one morning and I discovered I enjoyed it because not only was my most difficult task for the day done and dusted, but now I had the rest of the day free so I could focus on other things I needed to attend to. Initially, my plan was to leave the house by 6:30 a.m. But pretty soon I discovered that not long after that time, the sun is fully up and I couldn't cover enough mileage for the day. I need to start out earlier. Let's try 5:30 a.m. I say. I remember the very first day I left the house by 5:30 a.m. My heart was in my throat. The entire place was pitch black and various thoughts were coming and going through my head. Being robbed of my car some years ago at that very same time of the day in this very same city of Lagos just heightened the fear I was feeling. Should I go on with my run or should I go back home until the darkness has lessened? It was at that very time I saw this woman who probably had just left the bakery carrying her supply of bread for the day on her head. I said to myself, Kayode, if this woman can be out of the house by this time of the day on the road to make a living, then you have absolutely no excuse. That was just the dose of courage I needed. Eventually, I moved up my running time, the time I left the house to some minutes past 5 a.m. so I could cover more mileage and because I now had the courage to do so. To achieve anything significant in our lives, we need courage. It was J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, who said, anything is possible if you've got enough nerve. We need courage to say no to those things that don't matter so we can say yes to our destiny. We need courage to say no to those things that we don't want so we can say yes to those things that we do want. We need courage to say no to busy work so we can say yes to our life's work. We need courage to dream in the midst of adversity. We need courage to dream bigger where others say reduce the size of your dreams because we understand that no individual, organization or nation ever came out of a crisis by playing it safe. We need courage not to be sentimental but to be sensitive to our destiny. We need courage to not forget our dreams. We need courage to pursue our dreams. We need courage to live our truth even when it's not popular because we say to ourselves, it doesn't matter if it's not important to the next person, as long as it's important to me, then it's important. We need courage to ask for help and for the things that we need. We shout our dreams from the rooftop so we can attract the kind of help we need to make that dream a reality. We need courage to ask and to negotiate for what we want because we understand that success is not for the holy, success is for the hungry. Hunger is proof of the existence of food. Thirst is proof of the existence of water. That thing that we desire is out there desiring us. We need courage to heed the inner symphony of our hearts even when it doesn't make sense because we understand that not all who wander are lost. And you can't connect the dots of your life looking forward. You can only connect the dots of your life looking back. So what do? We trust. We trust God. We trust our instincts. We trust our gut. We trust the process that somehow, the puzzle pieces of our lives will eventually come together to form this beautiful and awesome and complete picture. We need courage to love after we've been hurt several times because we understand that a heart that is filled with hate towards one is limited in its capacity to show love towards another. And that any emotional wall we build around our heart to prevent the bad stuff and the bad guys from getting in will only eventually also keep the good guys and the good stuff out. We understand that our ego may have been hurt, but love wasn't hurt. Because love is bigger than you, love is bigger than me, love is bigger than anyone that may have hurt us or any unpleasant experience we may have been through. And since we understand that love cannot be hurt, then we can free ourselves to just be channels of love rather than being dams that think we can or should protect love or safeguard it. But most importantly, we understand that where there's love, there's no fear. This is how we find the courage to take those steps that move our lives to a whole new level and make us a pleasant surprise to ourselves and to all those around us. Love. We choose love. How do you find the courage to start that project? By choosing love. How do you do that? By finding a cause that is bigger than you. I love the way Max Lucado puts it. He says, maybe the reason your fears feel so great is because your cause is too small. When your cause is great, excuse me, your fears begin to shrink. What is your cause? What are you fighting for? Who are you fighting for? What we're talking about is a cause that reminds you of how far you have come and that you have what it takes to figure things out. A cause that makes you seek and pursue national prosperity as against just seeking individual success. A cause that stirs up your creativity and that makes you to see opportunities where problems exist. A cause that makes you want to help, not hurt. That makes you want to serve, not demand. That makes you want to give, not take. A cause that reminds you to be affectionate towards others, to be exuberant about life, to have that serenity and willingness to stick with things. A cause that makes us to value human life. Whether it's an orphanage to serve, a neighbor to encourage, a family in need to support, a spouse to pamper, siblings and parents to get nice things for, or an inspiring story to share tomorrow. Love, a cause. This is how we gain and sustain the courage to dream big and take risks. This is how I prepared for and ran the 2020 Lagos City Marathon.